together, right?
It was Detroit, not this year.
Yeah.
Last year. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, last May we
And I
did the
thought that was this
Fixation
year.
Fest.
Wow.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah, so it's been a year.
Yes, yes. Yeah, first of all, congratulations on your award for threats. That's amazing, you guys. That's so awesome.
Thank
Nice.
you. Yeah, that was a nice unexpected get. Threats recently came out and last year, 2 years ago, I don't know. Previously we put out Bad Taste on our music video and we had a couple like nominations and we've had, it was screened before, but this is like our first win. So it's a first big
We didn't
get.
win anything for Bad Taste.
We had like, well, we were selected and we were nominated. We were always the bridesmaid and never the bride.
But that has
Uh,
changed. That has
yes,
changed.
exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So official win.
That's
We
so
were rock
awesome.
best hip hop video. Yeah.
We should have got that hip hop
Aw.
music video.
So does that mean y'all get to come to Hollywood since this is a Hollywood award?
Sadly, we won't. It's not. Yeah, we're not going to make it out there. But we'll never say never. It's
Our director absolutely loves the
he loves the pomp and circumstance.
Yeah,
Like
of
this
all
is
this, yeah.
such a thing for him,
Yeah.
and
we looked and we're like, update your IMDb, boy.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Have you worked with him before, or was this the first
He
video?
did the Unicorn Bones video, the Bad Taste video,
Oh,
and now the Threats video.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's been, well, I worked with him before with
We both did.
Mr. Rush videos. Karen worked with him for the previous band, so and I worked with him with Sheriff Skip. Yeah, we've done plenty with him.
Yeah.
So
So it's been a good relationship. It's been a lot of fun, kind of going on a journey with him too.
long walks, some would say.
so
But it seems
did
that
you guys?
we always like film with him or like work with him on like the hottest day of the summer or
Or
like
the coldest.
yeah. So when we did Threats, like it was literally the coldest day of winter and it was -20.
We have these days in Chicago where they're like, do not leave, keep an eye on your elders. And we were in, so we have these lights. They're not we're scrappy. So we have actually work lights that get really, really hot. And we were in the venue with the heat on, and the work lights could not get warm enough for us to sweat even
Yeah.
with coats on. It was ridiculously cold. And that was
Oh,
one of the
man.
cold days we shot on. The other
Yeah.
one we went outside.
Right.
Yeah. So
So you have survived many elements at this point. Yeah, so far.
Our art.
well, Midwest, it's always going to be shitty in one way or another. Something's going to happen.
Did you guys help to plan the vision of the video, or was this something more of his vision?
It's always a what do we got? What's our turnaround time? And then kind of a throwing everything together, and then Weaver then starts to weave an no pun intended,
Yeah.
a narrative of these, what he gets a story out of it because he's a story guy.
Hmm.
And I go, just tell me where you want me to stand. What do you want me to do?
We have a lot of collaboration with him. So for Threats, he had this story in mind. And then we kind of worked around it from there and had some aspects and some specific things we wanted to do. And then like when we did Bad Taste with him, I found this great location and I'm like, whatever we do, we're filming around
Right.
this location. And then with like Unicorn Bones, it was the same. Like he's like, I have this great spot. And it was during the pandemic. So it was like, we need to film.
We had to
So-
break.
So we had to film someplace where it was, safe. It was away from people. Like we could have that, the pandemic going on. But he's like, I have this perfect location. So then we kind of wove the story around that too.
That was a little bit of, how do you feel about breaking curfew and trespassing? Yeah. But for Threats, it was this kind of like, there was an outline of a story, and then it was, oh, props. Well, I've got a mannequin.
Mhm.
Karen's like, now I have access to 2 mannequins. It was like, okay, well, let's see. What do we have? So we pulled bits and pieces together. It's odd what you have around when you go to put things together, and then it was just like this, that, and the other thing, and then it's like, then Weaver puts a lot of the story in the edit. He's doing compiling a shot list, and I would never be one to be in film, but a music video you're making a silent movie, so you can be directed the whole time. It's just like, go over there, do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
So that at least works for me. And Karen looks great no matter what. So although I don't know what she's doing. So she was behind me the whole time. And eventually I was like, that was what was going on? I didn't see her.
I do this. So if anybody's like watching this and they haven't seen our video yet, like, first off, go watch your video. Yeah. But second off, there's a specific part so I'm playing an upright for the majority of this music video, which is fun. And I kind of I like that I could flex that muscle again, because I actually can play. I know how to play the upright. But he had no idea that I did this like epic upright bass spin behind him in the background until he actually saw the film edit. So it was like, surprise.
Well, it was this sort of last minute decision, because I'm so much taller than Karen, that I ended up sitting in the chair for the whole thing. So I was stuck to one spot, and so she was just over my shoulder. So I didn't know what was going on back there until I saw a replay, and it was like, oh shit.
Does that ever happen to you guys on stage as well, where afterwards, like, you'll see a thing back and you're like, whoa, that's what you were doing?
Yeah. Or no, a lot of times that's how close that came to my head. Because I'll do this, I'll be playing and I get low, and she'll swing her bass and it'll just go like just graze the top of my head. I have no idea. Yeah. I'm just glad I have good dental. Like, really?
I sneak up behind you sometimes too.
Yeah, I've seen those too. The photographers go, yeah, see some things.
I'll sneak behind him on the left-hand side, and then he'll like turn around and like be like, "Oh my God, where'd you come?"
Well, I was gonna say, bass is a very hefty instrument, and since you guys both play bass, it's like a weapon, kind of.
Yeah, hers.
I've drawn blood on Ivan already, so
hers being as large as it is ridiculous.
I play Thunderbird basses, which are, I think, the biggest, heaviest, most awkward bass that has ever bassed. And ironically enough, he plays a small, short scale, baby tiny little bass, but we have, the thing is, my bass is hefty, and there has been a time where I have clipped his hand, clipped his body, drawn blood.
And when she clipped my hand, punched the headstock of her bass, what does she do? She looks at the headstock of her bass, she goes, like, oh, is it okay? I don't care about me, Yeah.
He was fine. But the next day, so this happened at practice. The next time we practiced, I come in and he put a piece of tape down the middle of the rehearsal space. So now that's like, you can't cross that line.
Know your place. Goddamn place.
All right, I get
it. Did you stay on your side of the line?
Yeah, that's the question. I'm like, no.
Never.
So I was actually looking at y'all's show history, and is it correct that your first show was opening for Martin Atkins?
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
It was he was like, did a spiel. Like, it was one of his spoken word things. Yeah, that show, that first show was so bizarre. So we always, like, it's like we always tell people to don't ever do what we do. It works for us, but it's never going to work for anybody. And I guess this is kind of a long story, but yeah, so Martin Atkins did like his his little presentation about Chicago music, and so he was kind of part of the show. And Steve Silver, who's the old tour manager for Pigface and Killing Joke, like he did a kind of thing, and he introduced us. But this was like our first show was at Livewire, and kind of leading up to this very abbreviated history of Bellhead. So we started working on this project together, and we've been in music for a million years. We've been in bands separate from each other. We finally got together. We started this project, and we just were all in. So we're like writing songs. I even bought a laptop to do programming. We made it run we ordered merch. We made shirts. We did like a 500 run of CDs.
We had the enthusiasm of like passing notes.
It would,
and like just so intent on what we were doing. We
so excited.
Lost sight of the outside world. And it occurred to me when we were in the wing about to go on stage. And Steve Silver is about to introduce, and I turn to Karen and I go, just right then it dawned on me, maybe we should have played this for more than 11 people before we ladies. Bellhead.
No one's heard this music before. No one's heard our set before. And it's not, and like even my husband, Dave, we didn't even, he hasn't heard these songs. So we've
it's
kept
already
it
been
really close and really tight knit. So no one knows anything. And it's not only is it like, this is our first show, and like Martin Atkins is there and Steve Silver is there, but for some reason,
Levi's there, Red is there.
The industrial bass players that have ever bass played are at our show. So Charles Levi was there. Greta Brinkman, she's bass player for Pigface. She's also been in Moby. She did L7. Dwayne Buford was there, who's the bass player for Ministry for a time. And so we're like, hopefully we don't suck.
And we've already recorded, mastered,
printed shirts.
We have hoodies.
Yeah. No, it was like,
and somehow it was lost on us that it was like, maybe we should.
But I think like the point is that we believed in this so much.
Foolishly.
We were foolish. No, but we were all in.
Like we didn't even go to like, hey, is this design cool? Like, we sunk money and energy into like without even kind of. So don't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, 7 years later.
Yeah.
We're still here.
Right.
So.
I mean, that's a testament to that, actually.
Right, but don't recommend anybody do that. Before you sink that much money and time into something, like, ask a few people, maybe,
Ask your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband,
Get a team of dead people. I don't know, like something.
Well, how do you feel now, like, when you listen back to your first work? Like, how do you feel about it now?
Our crashes have gotten quieter over time. They're a little bit louder in the first work.
I love it. I'm proud of our stuff, and a lot of what we have put out, we still play. We still have, our logo. Was one of the first things we made. Like we still have that on a shirt. We still lean forward with that logo. One of our first songs that we ever wrote, Fire Control, we just put back into our set this year because it's like an old friend where it's like, hello, I haven't seen you for so long, and I want to bring you back and hug you. So
we actually pulled out some older stuff, and it made me go, you really had something when things were simpler.
Yeah.
Just like at some point you got more like, oh, you could do this and do that, and for the next couple tracks just limit yourself, and for the next couple songs limit yourself in the number of tracks. Just go back to that two bass in a drum machine, we didn't have hi-hat in a number of songs because it just ate up space that was in the way of the vocals, so I just didn't do it, and it was even more stripped back, and it was like, just do that, just just remind yourself that you can, So, I mean, like, obviously we've evolved and changed. Like in the beginning, Karen didn't sing much at all.
Yeah.
The first song that she really sang any by herself was Runaway.
Mhm.
And when we were recording her vocal part, she's in the ISO booth and she's like, I'm really loud. And I'm in the control room going, yeah, we'll fix it in the mix. And as soon as the engineer mutes it, he turns to me and we both go, we're not turning that down in the mix. Like, it's just gonna be. So when we were doing the mix, she's like, why am I so? I'm like, nope, Karen, I lied to you. It's gonna be this way. And she's like, I don't like.
Yeah.
Trust me, this is how it's gonna be. And so over time, she got to sing more and more till eventually handed her a song and went like, this is yours. You're going to sing this whole thing. And spent a good year before you really found your footing to be like,
right. Yeah.
And then you got more songs to sing and,
Yeah.
And now I can't get you to shut up. But that's part of the dynamic was it was like, I'm not going to sing. It's going to get old with me singing everything all the time. I want you to sing with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love that you guys both came in to the project with already having had experience. So you had a really strong vision, but that at the same time, you guys have continued to evolve since then,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have to continue to grow and evolve. Like, it's no fun just to be status quo and do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And if that's, be that a new technology or a new ability that you learn or, something, we have to continue to kind of better ourselves.
I don't like to write the same song twice, so it's that kind of, well, I already wrote one of those. Mm-hmm. So it's then what do I want to do now? What interests me? And sometimes it's I'm working on something. I go, Karen's not going to like this. So how can where does this fit? How's this going to work?
You make me sound so mean.
Well, I know when I'm
like, is this gonna like a hostage video where you're gonna start blinking uncontrollably while we're having this video?
Well sometimes it's bring something. I go, you're gonna like this,
yeah.
And then sometimes it's a, well, we're gonna have to play this and see how it goes, because I depending on how far along a song is, it's like everything goes through the rehearsal process. It's not like I read a song, it's done. We learn it. It is. Yeah. We are very much a live band, so how much a song is refined in the room varies by how much a song needs to change. How much, like, this gets longer, this gets shorter. We don't have an intro. We need to change an intro. This part, there was the song where I thought it was pretty well along. Oh no, wait. Karen hated the demo. Then I reworked the demo. Then it came in. Then I was like, I want to add this break. Then Karen's like, we need to double the outro. Like, it kept being like, it's done. No, it's not done. Also, when I did, Karen said, these are really good lyrics. I go, great, then you sing it. And Karen was like, fuck. Yeah, right. Well, now that's your problem. There's a series of this change and that change will go on. So a song is fluid until it kind of gets to a point where it's like, yeah, this is how the song's going to go. Mm-hmm. It doesn't it's not just I wrote this down and this is how we're going to play it. And there was one that we were working on, and Karen was like, this needs a vocal melody here. And I went home and I worked on it, and I said, yeah, I wrote a vocal melody for it and I like it even less now. I'm going to scrap it. And she's like, are you sure? And I go, yeah, I was the patron for the song and I don't feel it anymore. So I'm going to take it apart. And the chorus lyrics went one place and the verse lyrics went another place. And the music is just now in the back burner. I'm like, it's fine. But we worked on it for a while, but it just became more of a burden than anything else, Yeah. We just had to let it go for what it is. And some demos, Karen just goes, nope. And she sends me stuff, which is just, will be a couple bass lines and some drums. And then I may work that up into a song, or it may sit in our bin of ideas we have that have not yet become songs. So that happens as well.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like, we can only write so fast.
Do you find that, like, when you guys are touring and playing some of the songs, like, over and over live, that things start shifting as well?
I think so. I mean, yeah, well, also even older songs that we play, they evolve and they change as we're kind of progressing on tour. I think we may change up a lot of our tones, our inflections, and our voices. And then I think one thing that we've learned as well is like we'll play songs live, and then we realize that maybe these are not live songs to play,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Not everything is meant to be performed
Yeah,
live.
not everything goes over on the stage.
And it doesn't mean that they're bad songs. It
Right,
just means that that's a different take for an audience. But yeah, I definitely, I mean, personally, there's many of our songs I have changed my performance wise since the initial recordings.
And I think there's things that change for the live, like Nothing As It Seems has now gotten a call and response with the audience that's not on the record.
Yep.
Um,
And we're writing a new song now that's going to have, it has kind of a fade out, right? And you can't really do a fade out successfully live. So then we're actually working on kind of a different way to end the song once we figure out.
I have no idea what song you're talking about.
The new one.
Sure. I'm going to go along with you on that.
How can you tell if a song isn't going to be liked by the other person, actually?
I've been writing some really weird stuff, and I mean,
that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, no, but this is what I guess this is what I've learned, especially being in a duo, and both of us having very strong personalities. Is that you have to leave you have to leave your ego at the door, and that's just it.
Yeah.
You have to be open to feedback, and that can be anything of me going like, "Hey, Ivan, you sound like shit today."
Except she says that every day.
This is but also like Ivan will be like, "I want you to change your bass tone, for this song." And
right.
And so so you have to be open. You have to be open for change. You have to be open for suggestion, and you can't take it personal, right? Because the end goal is the same, and how we feel about things. When you create something, it's like this is your baby, and sometimes you have to have that producer or that other person to go in and go, you know what? No, we need to tweak this or change this, and thankfully, we're able to create some really amazing things. Like, the song Threats, the first edition of that song had a gong in it.
It did. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then it was like two different parts, and it wasn't fitting. And I'm like, this doesn't work. And Ivan's like, figure it out. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay. But that's what we do together. That's the kind of how we're successful.
She gave it back to me, and then I did, and so on and so forth. And we were writing up until one rehearsal to get it down to then record it. But I think it might have been that song, but Karen said something about the way that we'll both play the same bass line, which was something akin to the way that two people will drive the same road. One of you is hugging the middle line and one of you is hugging the curb. Is that we're both going the same place, but we have a different way of different style about it. And so sometimes it's the, hey, the way that you're playing that bass line, can you lean to this or can you go to that? Because I'm looking for it to do this to the drum because I'm doing this to the bass, or where this vocal is going to land. I need this to go here, or I'm thinking that this is going to do this, or there's a tone, there's a why don't you try this? And sometimes we will put our basses down and just play with the vocals. Just go, no, you sing these lines, and just switch our lines and try this and try that. Why don't we double these? Why don't we do the opposite parts? Like just take the song apart and put it back together and see, oh, that's different when I do that. When Karen broke her arm, which I'm not responsible for, by the way, it was immediately like people just looked at me like it was my fault, and like, no, she did it on her own, But it was a real interesting thing because it created all of these scenarios for working out vocal parts where there weren't as many vocal parts for Karen to do in songs. And so we arranged things in different ways that we hadn't before. And I think it really strengthened some of the ways that we will approach stuff that we are approaching new material going forward. We're in the middle of writing a bunch of stuff right now. And I think it opened us up to ideas and made us better about all of that without saying specifically what that it is. We did the last show we did when Karen was still mostly laid up was Martin Atkins was doing the Killing Joke Extremities record, and we were opening that show, and we had a very different set. Karen played bass on like 4 songs. She'd do like on off, and she's got a tambourine in the air and all this stuff. And for us, it's very different. For an audience, it's like, this is normal. This is completely normal.
Right.
The show goes on to them like this is the way the band always is. Because we just made that work, and it brought out a different side of Karen, because she's not that, like, if I broke my arm, I'd put my bass down, have it in a sling, and just be on the mic the whole time. Fine. That no problem. But for Karen, that was a completely different, you're fronting now, you're leaning into that. And that was a learning experience. Don't break it again, though.
I've heard, when you break a bone, that it actually strengthens it if it's an actual break. And it sounds like that's actually what happened with your creative muscles as well. Like you guys were really flexing the creative muscles to navigate that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely you're a bass player and you break a wrist. There's, what do you do? But we kept busy, and it was great. It was definitely it was a great experience. And it was also, it forced me to do things that I don't do. Ivan's mentioned my vocals a number of times, and I was never a front person. I was never a lead vocalist. That was never, I mean, in the 30 years I've been performing, I've never had any desire to do that. Like, I have so much respect for when you do that, it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I've always been a bass player, and then it's like, oh no, I have to, and it was very uncomfortable, and it was very uncomfortable, but I did it, and it was fun, and now I feel better about it. But I think for me, obviously I sing about 50% of the music, but for some reason it's like having my bass is like my security blanket. Like, I could do stuff if I already have the bass on me, but I take it off, and it's like that, the nightmare of when you're like in school and you stand up and you're naked, or you're on stage and you're naked. Like, that's how I feel. So it really it really was a challenge, but I'm better for it.
No, I understand. I'm actually a keyboard player, and Mankind is Obsolete kind of the vocals got thrust into my direction because we couldn't find a singer. And I feel you. It's like, I was like, what am I supposed to do with my hands? Because I'm used to like playing keys, and I'm like, what? This is weird. But it's awesome when you find the flow and the joy, and then you're like, okay, this actually feels more natural now,
Yeah. And you still get to play you still get to play too every once in a while.
Hmm.
I mean, of
Yeah,
course you write
I still play.
everything, so yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and I play keys for like System Sin and other projects too. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really cool because I feel like it's like going back to like you playing your first show with Martin Atkins and then into the extremities when you were like in your challenge of like, okay, how do I shift gears with a broken wrist, And well, it's sounds like you're fully recovered from that.
Yeah, I mean, I can play. It's interesting. Like, I still have a lot of pain that I'm going through, but I mean, it's we're full steam ahead. We're doing tours. I can perform just back to normal. I just think it's especially when in September we're going out for we have a good run of shows in September, and I'm like, well, I'll just make sure that I pack extra aspirin and some ice packs
Yep.
in case we need it. But yeah, otherwise all back to normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, with as much touring as you guys have done, I mean, there's always sort of that mindset of like the show must go on, like one way or
Yeah.
the other, with tambourine or vocals or whatever it is that you need to do to get through that.
Yeah. And it's not only like the show must go on, but like prepare for everything, like make sure you have backups to the backup. And I mean, you guys know that too, going out on tour. It's like you have to make sure that you have your first aid kit, have your spare tire if you need it. I guess when we played with you, we always like to bring it up. Like, you guys had a crock pot with you, and that was just the coolest
Yeah.
thing ever.
Right. You made a split pea soup, and it was amazing.
Aww.
So if you have a recipe you want to send us or reveal to everybody now, that would be fantastic.
I'm definitely, yeah, I love my little crock pot. And honestly, it changes every time, like when I make it, because I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put a little bit of this and that and the other. So that was a one-time
Okay.
recipe.
Oh man, it was so good.
We were so hungry, and like a cartoon character. I was like, "Is that?" And like followed it like on the just, and then you were like, "Do you want soup?" I was like, "Yes." Did you make us soup? This is amazing.
I'm band mom. I'm always like, did you guys eat your sandwiches? Yeah. No, it was so awesome getting to meet y'all, and I love the Crucible, and it was such a cool way to meet.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's one of the things I really love about touring in general is just like the friends that you get to make on the road, and then you encounter each other over and over, as
Right.
long as you guys keep up with it.
Oh, 100%. I mean, like, I now, like, because we're 100% DIY. We're like you.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so I mean, I think at this point I do about 85% of the booking, right? And Dave helps, and then Ivan will pick up, the straggler. He really doesn't. Like, he got us a St. Louis show this year. That was his extent of booking.
Like when Karen's like, "Ivan, go do this."
But
Yeah.
but I get, like, I book now to see my friends, and it's
Hmm.
kind of cool to do that. So we're in the fall, we're going out to Colorado and then down in New Mexico, and we're just playing Denver, and like we did that 2 years ago, and it was like, it's because we want to go see Charles Levi, and a bunch of other friends. We're playing with Fernando at EHPH and also Play Garden, and then we're going down to New Mexico with the funeral process kids, and we love them, and
Hmm.
it's like you just make families all the time, and so literally our tours are always routed to go and see our people.
Yeah, it's the best way. Absolutely. Yeah. So, have you guys done the New Mexico Goth Festival before, or is this your
We
first?
have not. This is our first time at
Okay.
the first time doing the festival. So we
Yeah.
played New Mexico 2 years ago at the launch pad. So we're familiar with the venue and everybody.
Hmm.
But you guys played the New Mexico
Hmm.
Goth Fest.
Yeah, we love it. It's a great community. Yeah,
Yeah.
we love them. Yeah, for sure. It's awesome. So you guys head out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so we generally we'll do like long weekends a lot.
Hmm.
We both juggle day jobs. I have stepkids. So, a lot of times we'll do like 3, 4, 5 days. And then, in September, I said, we're going out for a good long haul. But yeah, in 2 weeks, we're just doing a quick run. We'll be in South Bend, Indiana on the 31st, and then in Indianapolis on the 1st, and then on the 2nd, we'll be back in Chicago. So it'll be, just a quick popping around, and then we'll be back at home for a month.
I think what's great about where you're located is that it's pretty central, so you guys can hit so many different regions.
Yes. Yeah. It's, we can travel through the majority of the Midwest and to get to the South pretty easily. We have yet to get as far out to you guys because there's those pesky mountains that are in the way,
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
it's a commitment to go to the West Coast. I mean, be it, up to Seattle or to California, like you have to lose 2 days.
You have to cross the mountains and then have a tour itself on the other side of the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're explaining something you're well aware of.
Yeah.
It's like
we want to come out. It's like I want to come out. I would love to play up and down the West Coast, but like, man, those mountains.
Yeah, no, I understand. Like when you have like a certain little period of time where you're like, okay, these are the days we can tour, and then you have to be really strategic about like how are we going to get from where we are to there and back,
Yeah, right. And like we also have not gotten all the way down to Florida yet either. And that's definitely on my hopes and dreams list, maybe next year or after. But you could hit, I mean, with Florida and California, like Texas, like they're such big states. Like you could do 3 days in Florida, you do 3 days in Texas. So, but it would be, again, you have to be strategic of how are we going to get down there where it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of, gosh, I look at it as sort of like 3D chess, and I'm looking at the map and I'm like, oh, okay, like, do you guys have like a limit of how many hours you like to drive per day?
We do, and we break it.
Yeah.
This drive out to Colorado and down into Mexico, like it's gonna kill us because there's a day where it's 9 hours, and there's nothing you can do about it. There is literally nothing from Albuquerque back east that is under 9 hours. I mean, again, like you know this. So we would love to try to like max it at like 5. I think that's a good number. But I said this time around, it's going to be real. It's going to be real rough.
You do the thing where it's like, the roll call is like, okay, we're only going to get 4 hours of sleep. Everybody's got to, be up, and then we're going, and it's going to be one of those days. And who's driving first? And this is not our first rodeo. Like, and we are from the Midwest, so we've spent plenty of time in the car to begin with, and like, so it's we're used to it, and it's generally like, who's got the most fatigue? Because like we take turns, and we're not shitty about. Like, especially if Dave's with us, he loves to drive, and
oh, nice.
That's great, So
yeah, that's awesome.
Having a third is fantastic.
Dave, who we always say like, so we'll go out with it's the two of us, or we'll go out with Dave Schock, my husband, and if he's not with us, we get to bring a fog machine because we're so tightly packed in. So, yes, Dave Schock is slightly better than a fog machine. Yes, don't think my husband is not. He is also subject to the back and forth abuse of poking, that we do.
Yes, which is a sign of love. It is a sign of love.
It is.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if Dave's with us, then I get to work on all of the not fun part of fixing every drum hit and everything for pre-production. So I will sit there, and Karen will eventually hear me arguing with our drummer. So because I'll just go through all of the files and just like make sure that every hit is actually where it's supposed to be, and just start doing all that. Because if I'm doing that at home, there's a million other things I'd rather be doing. But if I'm in the vehicle,
Where else are you going to be?
It's a very nice
Mhm.
seat for somebody who's 5'3", except I have another foot on that. So, I'll just sit there and okay, let's go. You know, um,
Yeah,
it's not the pre-production's not gonna do itself. So
Did you get a new tour vehicle? Didn't yours
it
it,
died.
it
It
died?
died. Yeah, our
Yeah.
last. Yeah, but it was amazing because one of our friends, who we met in New Mexico, he has a van, and so yeah, and he helped us drive, and in his van, which was amazing to have help. It makes such a difference when you have an extra set of hands and
Right.
someone to help with all of that. Yeah,
So
so.
you have a new vehicle for 2027.
Mm-mm.
You're ready to go.
We did the math actually, and we were like, wow. I'm like, because we were I don't know about you guys, but we were pouring in so much money for maintenance like every tour. So every tour it was like, there's I mean, and we put a lot of miles on our vehicles, especially when we're going from West Coast to East Coast. So it was just like all the repairs, all of that. We were like, honestly, it'd be cheaper, believe it or not, to either do a rental or to like with like a friend. Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
we are planning like a spring tour and stuff. So it's, but we'll have like another. It's not buying it like again. It's just it's crazy how much money it takes to upkeep a van when you're like putting a lot of wear and tear on it. So.
Yeah, I mean, so because it's just two or three of us, we fit in an SUV, which is crazy.
Hmm. Yeah.
But like I got a car 2.5 years ago, and I've already put 40,000 miles on it. And so like
Yeah.
and it's like this thing has to last me, right? Like I'm still
Hmm.
paying it off. So
so
and that's another reason, like, well,
basically the breakdown is we both drive. So I do my vehicle is all of the pentagram around the Midwest driving, and then
Hmm.
when we go much further, it's Karen's vehicle. So the mileage more or less works out, at the end of the day, and the wear and tear
Yeah.
roughly.
yeah.
But it's
But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, right, like I just had to put $1,000 in my car.
yeah,
Like it needed brakes, it needed
yeah.
all this stuff. So yeah, and
And,
Hmm.
it's worse now too, right? Because now we're fighting with the price of gas, and you
Yeah.
guys feel that pain in California the same as we,
Oof. Yeah. Oh
and then
yeah.
it's inflation with everything else. So it's just the landscape, the
if
future of touring
if we
is
had even slightly
interesting.
more room, we would fill jugs with gas. But we have so little room. It's like fill your pockets with
Yeah,
gas.
right.
Like we went to print another shirt because we have 6 shirts, and Karen goes, "Where are we going to put these?" And I'm like, "Well, we could open the sunroof and dump the shirts in, but then we can't get out of the vehicle. We have no room. Like we
Yeah.
can't get new gear. We can't. So
Yeah.
I mean, a gas can would be great, but where would it go?
Right.
It,
No, it's
we're
true. It's true. Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy when you actually like figure out like okay, like I mean that's actually part of the reason like we also make our own food on the road. It's just little ways that you try to save as much money as possible to make it possible to tour. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what do you
we
I mean, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
yeah go.
Yeah, I was just like how do you guys like manage your snacks and foods and all of that? Like, do you have any favorite things to eat on the road?
Oh yeah.
We have bananas that ripen on the dashboard.
Yeah, tour bananas. That's a thing.
Yep.
So,
Hmm.
well, I mean, especially for like, I don't need to say this to you, right? But for like people that are watching this and that are like chiming in, like tours are marathons.
It's
It's so you don't eat like an asshole. This is not a vacation. This is not a fun time. Like you need to be in good shape. So stop with the shenanigans. So like I mean, yes, we'll splurge here and there or do a thing like I need my peanut M&Ms, but at the same time, like we have, healthy snacks are important. So like we'll have bananas, he'll bring apples. We have a really tiny cooler that will fit waters in, and we have We have like a bunch of dry snacks. We'll bring power bars. We'll bring beef jerky for protein. Um, we take our daily vitamins. Like Ivan has like his collagen that he mixes in his coffee every day. Um, but we do have loves. Like when we're on tour, if we're going to a certain part of the country, I'm like, we're going to Waffle House, like.
And I say, do I have a choice? And
Nope.
I don't have a choice.
We'll try to eat. You
Eat as many vegetables as we can, really.
yeah, like you
Mhm,
can't, you we don't have room to like
Right.
bring a crock pot like you guys do, which I'm so jealous
Mm-hmm.
of. But we're like, let's eat as healthy and as clean as we can. And if that mean if that means like, well, we can go to Subway and just like load up on your veggies. Don't slather it with double
Right.
mayo,
Well,
things like that.
When it's 2:00 in the morning, you are limited to like. But if I can get some pickles, I'm eating pickles wherever we are.
Oh, yes, pickles.
Evan loves pickles.
There's a lot of like. I'm a big proponent of if I see Karen and her hand is empty, I put a water bottle in it.
Yep.
I'm constantly drink more water because you have to stay hydrated. And you go like, oh, I'm drinking. No, you constantly need to be drinking water because it is so easy to not drink it. Like, you go behind the merch booth and you think you're going to be there for a minute and you are there for 3 hours.
You're stuck.
And you
It's
you don't get any water. So, I will see Dave and I'm like, give your wife, give her 2 bottles of water. Like you can never have too much water. If we are at a venue and it's the end of the night and there's that like some water bottles left, take them all.
Mhm.
Like as much water as possible.
Yeah.
We always have room for water. We'll find a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bring a bag of apples. Yeah, that is a thing. The bananas that because the potassium is good. I mean, just try not to get like hangry at each other. Like, that's a big thing because if you eat shitty early, you get gut rot, and then you're just
Mhm.
and no one wants to smell your gas. Like no one wants. But I mean, we're going to end up eating shitty meals at some point. Like we're not going to eat great all the time.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
you
You do your best.
do what you can with what you got.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, tour hunger is a real thing. It's like it's crazy how many, how food just goes right through you when you're on tour because you really do expend a lot of energy,
Yeah.
with
Oh,
everything.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. And then you do the thing. You're like, am I hungry or am I bored?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it red or green apples out of curiosity? Because for Gordon, it's green. He loves green apples. So.
I don't have a prejudice with apples. It's literally just a bag of apples. What's on sale? Like it's just.
I don't care about the color, but it has to be crunchy. I don't like
Mm.
the soft apples. Like that texture is just.
Yeah, I definitely like my apples crisp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we keep we have similar, snacks. The guys really like the those Fig Newton bars on top of that. Like
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah. They have a thing for that and the peanut butter pretzels, so that usually gets the drivers through. Yeah.
Both
But
quality choices.
yes, yes. Yeah, so well, you guys had both toured prior to Bellhead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, did you tour in full bands though? Was this your first time doing it as a duo?
I toured as a duo prior to Bellhead, so I just had a drummer. So it was drums, drums and bass. So it was Mr. Russia, and so
I've done the full.
and I've been out with a full band before as well. Karen's done a ton of that.
Yeah,
nonsense.
I've done the full shenanigans with a giant white van and the humongous trailer on the back of it and multiple people and yeah, it's the more people the harder it is, right? I mean, that, and again, like you have to really just have good a good relationship. Because one bad tour or one bad, right, you get hangry, or your bladders aren't synced up, and then it just the mood could just deteriorate so quickly. And I've had really great big tours, and I've had awful, like you want to kill them by day 2, and it's
also that
hard.
thing where it's like somebody gets sick and then just passes it around.
Oh
You know?
yeah. Yeah, the tour
I mean,
plague.
how do you avoid not having the plague,
plague.
test through all your entire band?
So I wear a mask at all our shows myself because I'm immunocompromised myself.
Yeah.
But we stay pretty healthy, to be honest. Like everybody like eats pretty healthy. Everybody does their workouts, and I think the rest of the guys have a pretty strong immune system. So I used to get like awful bronchitis that would last for weeks. I went for like a 6-week MKIO tour where I had bronchitis the whole time. Yeah, and then I cracked a rib on stage, so it was pretty brutal. So yeah, and then I have my tricks, when I have to sing through a show and my voice is awful, like the oregano oil and the lemon. I got really into like holistic herbs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was this show we were going to play, that, like, I think one of the only shows we canceled, and Karen called me, or I thought it was Karen because Miles Davis answered the phone. Go on. I'm like, the fuck? We are not going to put in this show. You cannot sing. Like, no, we cannot do this. It's just gone. I mean, just gone. You can't sing like that at all. That's no, not at all.
Yeah, I don't like canceling. It was really hard. It was hard for me to cancel that show. And then we canceled a bunch of shows last fall with my wrist injury because
Right.
I got injured, and we had a small run of shows with Feilu, who were like the most amazing human beings. Like, love them so much. But I was like playing one song and then taking the bass off, and I had like a splint on. And then I got home, and then I went back and had more MRIs, and I went, oh no, I really fucked my wrist up. And then we had to just.
And here's the thing: I go to Karen, I'm like, cancel, shut it down, like just.
He wanted me to cancel the Feilu shows, and I'm like, it's fine. I'll push through it. But then once the kind of the diagnosis formally came back, then I was like.
Well, no. We also got back and like dropped you off at the hospital. I mean, that's the thing. It's like so. When Karen got injured, she's like, don't be mad. I'm like, what happened? Because Karen will get on a scoot and take off. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I do my own stunts.
Right. And now, granted, I've had my own share of injuries. I fell in a hotel room getting out of a tub.
Yeah.
And fucked up my ribs and my back. And, I fell getting off a stage, carrying my amp down the stairs, and messed up my knee. And like there's plenty of my own. That was a tour that you started on a scoot, and I said, you're gonna get hurt, and then you were like, and look what you did. Yeah. So it's not, it's not entirely just her.
Yeah.
But she did a number this time, and so we've had our share of injuries.
Yeah.
It's not.
But it's just weird to cancel shows.
Yeah, but there is the point where it's like, but you have the long-term damage of, like, what are we powering through for?
And I don't know, like, I mean, especially because, I mean, you were, with MKO, like, you've been doing this for quite a few years too. And it, like, pre-COVID, you didn't cancel shows. Right. And if you canceled shows, then you were fucking done. Like, you would never get that venue again. You would never get that city again. It was like you were a pariah if you ever canceled anything. And I think now it's like the attitudes towards it are so different in a positive way. Like, God, thankfully, like, we have this, so now it's like, okay, I could cancel these shows because my wrist was broken, and like I would say 2/3 of the venues that we booked were playing in the fall. Like in New Orleans, Little Rock. So it's good. It's good that mindset has changed now.
Oh, yeah.
Some bands cancel stuff a little willy-nilly, but you should take care of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, pre-COVID, like this was the tour where I had bronchitis.
Yeah.
Gordon ended up singing for me. Like there was 3 shows.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my voice was so trashed, and the doctor, I went to see an ENT, and they were like, "You literally have to go on vocal rest, or you're gonna have no voice at the end of the tour." So we taped the lyrics onto the monitors, and Gordon's like playing his bass, and just like he did an amazing job. He has an awesome voice, but I was just sort of like, "All right, Gordon, go." So yeah, but I mean, I feel you where it's like there is that pressure where you're like, oh, we can't cancel the show. People, are counting on us,
Yeah.
and you don't want to burn the bridges, and we ourselves have canceled very, very few. It's been for like, okay, vehicle's broken and we literally can't get there,
Yeah, you
or
literally can't do anything about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
there are some real like we
Yeah.
cannot get to there.
Yeah.
We were on the road, and it was 2 days in India, not very far drives. Both days, we got up, got gas, ate, went to the bathroom, and ended up spending the entire day in torrential downpour driving in Indiana. You know, when you look at the map on your phone and you see nothing, it's just blank and there's a line. It's not even a road, it's just a line. And you were on something that's like, this can't constitute a road. It's as wide as a vehicle. Like we were driving in the middle of so much. No, I have never been so happy to see an old man in a rain slicker who just pointed go that way, because there was some massive pile up on the highway. So we call the venue to be like, oh, we're going to be late, but even though we were late, we were still fine. We were still there by sound check. We were just later than we were supposed to be there. The next day, get up, food, gas, bathroom, same thing, different highway, different accident.
Yeah.
Oh
And
no.
it was just like, oh, are we doing this again?
Mhm.
Call the venue.
Ah.
We're going to be late. But 2 days that should have been light
Easy,
days,
yeah.
but just spent entirely, delayed. If we weren't like the kind of get up early and go to, get into town and be punctual, like about it, we would have missed.
Would have missed our call to him for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, you bring up actually a really awesome point, which is just it's the professionalism behind what you're doing that lends itself to longevity, I think. Like, I mean, it sounds like a simple basic rule, but not everyone gets that, and I think it's awesome just to know like, okay, like part of the basic thing is be there on time, right? Or early, right? So,
Yeah. Well, and it's plan ahead. Again, like
mhm.
you have to treat this, even if you're not a full-time professional band, right? That this is 100% your gig. Like even if you're a band that maybe goes out just on weekends or hasn't done a lot of touring, like you need to remember that you have to be professional because you are going to places and you're working with people who this is their full-time job. This is their main source of income. They are relying on you to do your part, be it be on time, be it fill a room with people, with bodies.
Mhm.
And that means you have to do the not fun things and you have to prepare for it. Like we map out our tour. We love spreadsheets. So I literally have a Google spreadsheet that is like, here's the addresses of the hotel, here's the addresses of the venue, here's our call time, here's the start time. Like,
Time zone change. Yeah. All of that.
and then, like you have to map it out going like, okay, I know in advance that I need that load out wheels up at 9 o'clock in the morning means 9 o'clock in the morning. But I just think, I think a lot of greener bands, that's one thing that they should think about kind of when they start doing this journey is to like take your extra time and plan all this out and remember that you're just one small component of a bigger thing.
But the thing is that there is a history of bands being unprofessional. So like when you look at a venue and it says you need to be there at 4, sound check is at 7. The reason they say you have to be there at 4 is because there is a history of bands being late.
Yeah.
So they have set the time that early because musicians have been that bad that they have to set the time. So you're like, why do I have to be there at 4? Because musicians have been that unreliable. So don't be that, you know?
Don't be that person.
And like when you show up on time, when you have your shit together, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
When you're not a pain in the dick to work with, they go, let's get those guys back here.
Yeah.
You know, like it is really just being prepared. You know, like when we go, you know, we need this, we need that. That's it.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? Yeah. Yep. That's it.
We're good.
So we're all set.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. That's all we need. You know.
Yeah. And what, like you were saying, like it's like, oh, we want these guys back. You are building relationships when you're on tour, and hopefully relationships that you can continue to have, you know, for years to come. And because people do have a memory for like, oh, these guys were actually not great, right? Or the opposite, right? So yeah.
Well, the promoter talks to other promoters. The venue talks to other venues. The sound person talks to. I mean, there's only so many people doing so many jobs, and you know, whatever town you're in, and then online. So you know, like mind, you know, how you behave yourself. Like,
Those assholes in Bellhead.
Yep.
No, I mean it's
the only thing that follows us around now is our threats of Malort. So
what is this Malort threat?
well, Malort is a Chicago liqueur. And I should put quotes around that. So it's an alcoholic beverage. You shoot it. It's a shot form, and it is in fact the most vile, disgusting thing that you will ever put in your mouth. Well, for most people, right?
We were.
I say, like, you know, Chicago people are very different than the rest of the world. I think we have a scrappiness and a toughness and a survivability. And I feel like it is our lot in life to be punished that we have to drink Malort. Like, I just think like this, you know, like what's like the myth of like the guy that has to push the boulder up the hill in perpetuity. Like our job is to drink Malort forever. But it's terrible. You know, if you Google Malort reactions, you're going to see a sea of people that hate it. And so it's kind of become this thing where it's like, well, as Chicago ambassadors, I feel like we have to be the ones that you experience Chicago with.
We
also,
do.
P.S. I love you.
Right.
And so now, like, if people come in town, we will Malort them, but it's now come out and gone further. So Ken from Sounds and Shadows and Amaranth, he has promised me his Malort virginity forever. And so he's like, I'm just never going to see you in Chicago. You're never going to do it. Well, we played Fixation again this year, and Fixation is a Chicago sister venue, and they have Malort. And it's like, you can't get out of it. And there is a lovely video of his reaction, and you could actually see the moment his soul leaves his body of how bad it is. But I even like, so we're playing Oklahoma City this fall. It's our first time in Oklahoma City. I'm so excited about it. And there's like 3 or 4 people that are like, hey, you can't make me drink Malort. And I'm like, guess what, fuckers? I went out and bought little travel size bottles of Malort and little plastic bottles, and I will ruin your life wherever we go now. So be warned, internet land, if Bellhead comes to your town, we are bringing our own Malort.
Oh,
yes,
good. So we have space for that.
Yeah, it's just, I'm going to make a bandolier, and I'm just going to put them, you know, like Chewbacca from Star Wars.
Yeah, no,
he's got the bandolier.
I can picture it in my mind.
I'm just going to put the little bottles in there, and I'm going to wear it.
Are we getting an endorsement yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We need to.
We should.
Leave a bad taste
But
in your
like
mouth.
we were, there's a band, and we were at a bar, and we're like 3 shots of Malort. And the bartender looks at us, pours 3 shots of Malort, puts 1 water down, just knows what's up.
Yeah.
And after she does the shot of Malort and goes through all the cartoon character faces, I go, why do we do this to people we like that we want to play with again? Like,
Because we love you.
We have against.
You hurt the ones you love the most.
Yes. The best one was.
Never make you do that though. Don't worry.
She will. We were.
No.
We did a series of dates with Sealed and with
You lost it.
I lost it. Yep. It's gone.
Recent tour.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking
We've
about.
been so many places.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I lost it. It's gone. It's just.
It'll come back. It'll come
Yes.
back. Yes. Hopefully not after the stream.
Right.
I'll call you in a week.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes. No, it's isn't that funny how time is so fluid? Like I was thinking about this. Yeah, and I was like, gosh, I'm like, you know, we've been like laying pretty low ourselves this year, but touring really does make time bendy. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like it was 4 years ago or it was yesterday. I'm not entirely sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you guys been touring pretty consistently since you started?
Yeah, I mean, I think yes, absolutely. I mean, the one thing that was interesting is like, so we started just pre of the pandemic, and that made everything real interesting, right? Because it's like, how do you as a band that likes to play live, and how do you know what do you do in this in this kind of navigating this new scape? And so that was definitely a hurdle that we went through. The one thing that, you know, we had a long conversation during the pandemic, and we're like, you know, we have confined spaces. It's, you know, it's us, like we're comfortable kind of in that. So we kind of worked together. We did a lot of like that's how we started writing back and forth. Like I would send him riffs and we would do that. So we were kind of getting everything ready. But then as soon as the pandemic kind of lifted and it seemed like it was good to go, like we were on tour. We were going. And we have not looked back.
The other
since.
thing was that before, so we had been on the road before, and so we had a bunch of stuff booked,
Yeah.
and we had taken all of our money and bought the biggest merch order we'd ever done. So I had all this merch stacked higher than us, and Chicago just shut down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, so we packed up all the merch, we rolled it, but we didn't put it online. We just sat on it. And it's like, well, this is all our money. It's all tied up in merch. And we could put it online, or we could sit on it until this eventually lifts, like until we can launch it. So when we were able to go back out on the road and everybody was kind of like, yeah, let's get started, we were like, beep, beep, took off and had a full line of merch ready.
Like the brand
Yeah.
the tour dates were good.
So we had, it wasn't like we had launched it during the pandemic and people had already, it was entirely new when we hit the road with it. And so that actually worked in our favor because people had money and were excited, you know, to get stuff and to see us. So it was great.
And we started touring. I mean, even before the pandemic, like we went out really quick. Like it was in that first year were doing out of state shows, and it was actually it was interesting because like we have this project, we started this project, but we don't know how we're going to interact together as we're going through. Like, yeah, we're friends and we're doing this, but like, I don't know what he's going to be like on tour. Like Ivan could be the worst person ever to be in a car with. And so we did this weekender, you know, where I think it was like Chattanooga,
oh God,
and like St. Louis and a couple other things. And we get on the road and very quickly we're like, oh no, this is perfect. This is going to work out. No problem at all. So, yeah.
Well, out of curiosity, everybody has a different reason why they do this, but like, what is it that keeps you guys touring?
I have a void in my self-esteem that can only be filled with applause. Like, I mean, I approached Karen with starting this band when we were both in other bands. I was like, we are lifers,
Yeah.
so let's
Hmm.
start doing something now as a side project because inevitably other people will wither and die, and we will need to be doing something. Not knowing what Bellhead was going to be, even be Bellhead. It was like we could do this or an Alice Cooper tribute band. I don't know, but we need to do something. And it's just that like I writers that don't write end up talking to themselves, and it's like I need to do something.
And I need adventure. I need to travel. I need to be on the move. I am very wanderlusty in a person, and it's hard for me to be in the same place for a long amount of time. Um, and so being able to get on the road gets me, it's good for my soul. It really is.
Hmm.
I need to be, as crazy as it sounds, like I look forward to being in a car for 8 hours, eating beef jerky, listening to podcasts about TV shows from the 80s, and getting 2 hours of sleep every night. It's
Yeah,
just, it's good for my soul.
there, there's something about it that really is just like really, I don't know, even with my upbringing, that's like, yeah, this makes sense.
It's not for everybody
Yeah.
though.
Hmm.
It is not.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
think people realize that quickly when they
And
go out.
I mean, there is a expiration date on it where it's like we can only do this for so long before it'll be like, yeah, we can't keep, like the body tells you, we eventually realize it's like, what we need to do is spend just a little more money on lodging.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more. You're getting a little old for this. And it was like,
I need a bed sheet that is more than a bed sheet thread count of one.
yeah, I found out that, yeah, turns out thread count is a thing. And when you get down to 11, it hurts.
We always talk about how we're scrappy, and we, DIY and we do things. Well, when we started we're gonna get really cheap hotels. And I mean cheap and dangerous and sketchy. And it's like the motels where like the doors face out into the parking lot, because at 2 o'clock in the morning you open the door, you back your car up, and then you throw all your gear in, and then you can pass out. But like you learn as you go, like these are $60 hotels for a reason, and they have just progressively gotten worse. And like we stayed at one where the guy's like, I'm gonna put you on the nice side of the motel, and it was the nice room, and the nice room didn't have hot water, and it had blood on the sheets. And that's
okay.
that's no and that's when we're like, you know what, let's stop staying at Motel 6s, and let's get a Best Western.
I wasn't sure which story really, when I was like, Karen, that guy has a machete.
Yeah.
Or when the woman had the freshly amputated foot.
The leg amputation was interesting.
When the pimp sent the woman
with the dog.
bull.
Yeah.
There's a number of times, like, we don't tell people we're musicians.
My mom's not watching this.
I tell them that I'm a street performer.
Yeah.
There's a patter, but
well, we're not doing that. We're staying at nicer hotels this time around.
It's gotten progressively worse. There's more and more places where you're like, too many people live here.
We've had we definitely have had some very interesting tour stories, and when we start regaling people with our tour stories, they like their eyes get really big, and they're like, "What?" And I thought that was normal, and apparently it's.
Yeah, but we've been barricaded ourselves in the room a number of times. It was just like, what would $30 more get us?
Yeah, it gets us better, and we're getting yeah.
So we've, as needed, we've upgraded it and gone like, this is way better for my back, my sanity.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it is interesting because like as you guys were sharing earlier, just it is different, and you have more freedom when there's a smaller group of people when you're traveling, and you're like, okay, well, you can obviously like have less accommodations, but but then you can spend a little bit more for like yeah. Yeah. And I mean, on the tour that you have coming up, is it a couple weeks that you're going to be out at once, or?
It's like we're out for a little over a week, and then we're like literally home for like 5 days, and then we go out for a long weekend again. Um, so we go out on like September 1st, is like our first gig out. So we're out from like the first through, oh, it's a week. So the first through the seventh. So we're doing like we're doing a full week. And then I said, like, literally, like, we're just taking a couple days off, and then we're doing like 17th, 18th, 19th in September. So,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a nice, two good sized runs.
All the dates are on our website. We're going out to New Mexico, through Texas, down to New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know.
And then we're doing a little Midwestern run.
Right. Memphis, Little Rock, St. Louis.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's even when you have like the time at home, if you're still in the middle of a run, it still feels like a tour. And I find the longer that you go out, like, yeah, it's like you really do have to take care of yourself because it adds up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed that the closer we get to going out, especially when we go out for like a longer period, the more I become apprehensive about doing anything where it's like, you know what? I'm not going to go to that thing or like.
I'm gonna do a rock climbing gym.
Yeah, yeah. It's the. I'm not going to do.
I'm gonna pick up roller skating.
Well, it's that,
and
I'm not going to try and lift that by myself, or I'm not going to go to that filthy bar, or I'm actually going to try and get a good night's sleep. It's like the closer, right before we get to a tour, I get really apprehensive about anything that's going to get me sick, anything that because
I'm gonna do some
I don't
stupid shit.
I just don't want to be I don't want to get super susceptible to strep and it will lay me out. It's the only thing that's like put me in the hospital, and like I do not want to. I don't want to be like, Karen, I got sick because I did something dumb, that ruined, because all that planning that went into the tour, all that promo, whatnot. And then when we get back, we have to go right back out. Then it's basically like do laundry, bandage, and then, go back out on the road.
Yeah.
Bandage.
Yeah.
Always bandage.
Yes. Yeah. Fix all the things. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ivan, you mentioned doing all of the pre-production. Do you as well do the production on the actual albums?
Yeah, that's really. I mean, we make our recording process is really small, so it's me, Karen, and Neil. There's no assistant. There's no
our audio engineer.
There's no like we move the baffling, we set up the mics. There's nobody else in there, and Neil is wonderful to work with because he is just so dry, and so like
he's done all of our recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm recorded vocal where there's a line, "Prove you're not a ghost," and Neil cut back in. It's like just because they said they're a ghost doesn't. What did he say? Something like doesn't mean that they're actually not a ghost.
Yeah.
But we will go through the process, and it's really like if you're not performing, you're listening to the other person and going yes, no, black, white, But I will have done all of the drums, anything that I can ahead of time will have been worked out.
The one thing that we don't touch, like Neil records us, he presses the buttons, he does all the tracks, and he mixes us. And then we have a master, a guy, Carl Staff, and he does all our mastering. So, I mean, we do all of our pre-production, and we're our own producers, right? But when it comes to the recording, the engineering part of it, and the mixing and the mastering, like that goes to like. I have old ears that are shot and I can't hear anything, and I am not the one to mix anything. So that goes in the hands of wonderful humans that we trust.
And they've done everything that Bellhead has put out.
Yeah.
We definitely trust them to do that.
We're creatures of habit. Like it's that we've gone to the same recording studio for everything as well. So.
And the some stuff is more like you know, by all means, Neil, jog the levels on this. It's like things have been figured out. Like we'll have tones. We know what effects we're using.
And Neil's comfortable with us where he will offer some producing and some input as we're going through too.
If I'm going, I'm in between on 2 effects, or how much should it be on this? Do you want me to track both? Do you want me to just do the one? You know, like whatever it is. But it's a lot of like, we work fast.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, you know, we are in and out. It's kind of a, let's get this done.
Because you guys do all of your own, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Scott does all of our producing and mixing, but Steve and Gordon records themselves. So like Steve has his own drum tracking that he does, and Gordon does his own tracking as well, and then Scott pieces it all together. So yeah, it's the nice thing about having like everybody that is good at the thing that they do. You know.
That's awesome.
I am. That's not me. I'm not a. I wish I had that skill, but that is not me. I book the tours. Yeah.
Which is a skill.
That is a hard skill. So that is a good skill.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's awesome that you have like a solid group of people that you trust and that, you know, are on the same page, because it makes such a difference when you're like, okay, like they get me, and it makes things so much easier, you know, for sure. You mentioned some new songs that you're working on. So is there new material that you're thinking of putting out this year or early next year?
Nothing will be released in listenable mode to download or purchase. We are writing currently, and we are working through new songs. Our goal is to get into the studio in the winter.
Nice.
And then we'll see what we have, but we don't have, it's funny, you ask my husband and he's going to be like, we need a hit in the books for Christmas. We need a new song. But we don't have anything. We don't have a date set for anything right now. We don't.
Well, the thing was that because everything, Karen broke her arm, and that sort of set the timeline off. So it's like the Threats vinyl was supposed to come out last year. The video was supposed to come out last year. Then that got pushed into this year, and then earlier this year we did the live release. So we recorded a live show, put that out.
Yeah, for World Goth Day Online.
Yeah, that was they were like, well, you can film. Well, we decided to go ahead and film, and so that actually went to Neil to mix and Carl to master, rather than just being like, oh, here's, we went full in on that and put that out. So we put more production into that. And as a kind of, here's what we have, at least this, and we put out the Empty came out this year, right?
Yeah, we did that cover. So there's nothing there probably, right. And I don't want to say with certainty there's nothing else coming out, but
you made me think about it. I'm like,
I know. But we are working on new songs, and I'm really excited about a lot of them that are.
There's a whole bunch of them, and I can't remember what they all are. We literally learned one today.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I love it. I think it's probably. Are you gonna be trying it out on the road, or?
We have been. We've been so at all of our shows this year. We've snuck in songs. So
nice.
The thing actually.
But we're not saying it. So you gotta. Yeah.
The thing was that when we did our first show, we had already recorded without playing any of it live, which is dumb because we're so live performers. And then the pandemic happened. So again, we went and recorded and hadn't performed any of it live. So so much of us has been not able to play stuff live. It wasn't till the most recent record that we actually got to play stuff live before we recorded it. And that was really nice. It was like, good. Okay, we got to road test it. And that changed like the shape of the vocal performance for Heart Shaped Hole. And it was like, it just, that's how we like to be.
Yeah.
But we also don't like to be like, hey, this is a new song, because part of the audience is going, all of these are new songs to me. I don't know, so we just kind of will sneak a song in there and we'll play it for a show, get the feedback we need for us.
Mm-hmm.
and then move on, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I love testing out songs on the road because it's like, I mean, like you were saying earlier, Karen, like sometimes songs just belong in the studio and, and it doesn't mean that it shouldn't go onto an album, but yeah, it is always kind of nice to get the feedback and the feeling of like, oh, we could try something different out, like if it didn't work out, like with the intro or whatever,
Definitely.
Part
Yeah.
part of it's the audience, but part of it's just the having it on stage and having the like it in the set and like the kind of the adrenaline, the pressure of the moment. You suddenly go, oh, this part's too long, or this isn't working, or whatever it is, it snaps into focus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there is something about it, and like you were saying earlier, like because you guys are a live band, I'm sure that really informs, the music, so yeah, yeah, same with us. Like it's just, it's the part that I love. I mean, I love the actual like getting together and playing and working things out. So, yeah, yeah, I think that's yeah. So, and I think it's awesome because I think you guys are the only project that I know where it's two basses. It's so unique, and that's such a unique vibe and sound,
Yeah, I know there's one.
There's got to be another.
There's one on the West Coast somewhere that's messaged me. They're like, "We're two basses too," but like one of them is like one of those weird ass like 8-string or 12-string or like the neck
Is it one of those where the frets are like?
It's not like a Chapman stick, but it's close to it. But no, I mean, there's definitely been bands that have had two bass players, but no one that's ever just been two bass players.
Yeah. Well, with the Threats video, with you playing upright, like, have you ever brought that out on some of your more local shows?
Not on the road.
No room.
There's no room. Yeah, because it
Yeah.
takes up. It's just monstrous. But I have in other capacities, I've played it. I've performed live with an upright before.
Yeah.
It would be cool, but there's no possible way you could do that for a tour. Like maybe a one-off in Chicago, and that way we'd be home and local, so we could drive separately. But yeah, not on the road.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of road again, I saw Dave in the chat mentioning that pickles happened at every gas station stop. I love pickles too. I'm like, yes.
I even get the bag pickles.
I get those, or we go to these. We find places like Grandpa's Cheese Barn.
Yeah.
In what is that? Ohio. And I'll get jars of pickles, and it's my contraband. Other people go on tour and they find, I don't know, and I buy Amish soap and pickles. Okay.
We love one of the great things about us is like when we have downtime, we like to do fun stuff, and that includes like, hey Ivan, do you want to go to an antique store?
Right. So Karen has been on this tear about I'm gonna buy a tour sword.
And
I am like, no, we cannot buy a sword on tour. No, absolutely not. So we're in an antique store in Indiana, I think, in the morning, and Karen goes to the bathroom, and I find an old timey soda, and I don't really drink soda, but old timey soda is
some antique shop
because I'm an old man who likes, a great beehive, whatever. So there's this child, literally like the child of the owner is working the cash wrap, and I go to pay for this, and I turn my head, and on the wall is a picture of Alice Cooper in the antique store buying a sword, and then a picture of him on stage with the sword. And I do this double. I'm like, that's Uncle Al. And the kid goes, I don't know who that is. And I'm like, but I think the child's like mother owns the antique store. She goes, oh, he golfs near here. So Karen comes out, and I'm still going, and then Karen goes, this means I get a sword. I can't argue with Uncle Alice.
I mean,
also, he goes antiquing.
Yeah. So hopefully I will finally get my tour swords this year.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
So we've learned that antiquing is very rock and roll.
Mm.
Uncle Alice it goes antiquing
In Indiana.
and Karen is gonna get a tour sword.
I love this. I love this.
So-
And also the great minds think alike. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's
So you
Fun
still
shenanigans on the road.
so maybe in this upcoming tour, the tour sword will present itself to you.
I'm hoping, and it's because
Mhm.
I can't force it, right? Like,
Right.
because I've been talking about a tour sword for almost 2 years now, and I can't like. Everyone's like, well, why don't you just go online and buy a sword? I'm like, that's not the point.
Right.
It needs to present itself like Excalibur and the Lady in the Lake. Like, I want to be in the middle of nowhere in Kansas, and we roll up, and
Right.
there's like an old man that's on the side of the road with like a blanket in the intersection, and these swords laid out, and I'm gonna be like, that's my Excalibur.
it's like
and,
that place where
you know, and it's gonna be like it's like $100, and I'm gonna like find the change in my pocket.
It's
And
like that place we were in New Mexico that we were pretty much sure was like an off-brand arms dealer.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. But yeah. So hopefully, so if anything in 2026, it's you're gonna drink Malort with us,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna get a sword.
Because we find these places where it's like, I think we're at Boomtown, and it's these things where it's like 5 knives for the price of 3, and I'm like, I would like a knife that's looks like America,
Yeah.
but I get kind of overwhelmed, and I'm like, I do love knives, but how many do I need? And it's that with, because we are plenty of places where there are swords, but it's like, is this
It's
the
not the
tour?
right
Yeah,
one.
right. Yeah, it's not that simple. Like,
And even like, so I just went out on the weekend. Dave and I and our kids, like we went to St. Louis for the weekend, and we of course went to an antique shop, and even the kids know about the tour sword. So we're walking in the antique shop, and they point, and there's like, Karen, there's katanas. You could get your tour sword. I'm like, no, because this isn't tour. So it will come.
I'm very much looking forward to hearing the
Message
story
right
when it
away.
finally, when it actually finally converges.
the complicated rules of tour sword is
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. No, it's when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It's like the cat distribution system. Like it will come to you.
Yeah.
It is your
Oh, right.
time.
100%.
It was like the
You
time
know?
we were like, we're gonna get band tattoos on tour, and then the Swifties got in the way,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like, well, that ain't happening. There's nothing ever been more dangerous to happen to us on tour than being in New Orleans at the same time as Taylor Swift.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a thing. It's a thing.
It's a whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
It
yeah.
is. It actually is. We that happened to us in Seattle, and it changed the whole traffic, like how we were
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
get to the venue. Yeah.
Well, they were in the
Yeah.
quarter. They apparently will just stop and sit
Uh,
anywhere,
Yeah.
just like on the sidewalk, in the street. Like, it's just, okay, we've taken over, literally.
and New Orleans is not easy to navigate as it is. So, yeah.
No, well, that's kind of like my second home, so I can get us around pretty well. But no, it's a difficult city for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is the hardest city for you that you find?
You mean in terms of driving around or?
Yeah.
It's interesting because Scott is from New York and New Jersey, and Gordon's from Pittsburgh. So, like, they're actually really good with like big city driving. It's different for me because I'm from a little town in Texas, so I'm just like paralyzed with. I'm like, so many people. Yeah, but we've been lucky, to tell you the truth. Like, you would think New York, especially, would be hard,
Yeah.
but we've been so lucky with the parking ferries. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have kind of rules. So I drive the mountains. I love driving. I love driving mountains. It brings me a lot of joy. And I generally do the big cities. Ivan will take 14 hours on a straight flat road, or he'll do all of Nebraska.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
in turn, I will do 2 hours in,
Well,
Um,
I drove from Chicago to Chattanooga, and it was like,
yeah,
I'm fine.
yeah.
It was just,
Wow.
yeah.
Do
So
you
we
have
have very
do you listen to
specific
the
goals.
podcast together out loud, or are you usually in headphones?
Well, we have a music pack. We bring CDs, and
So fun.
it's a lot of like Karen likes to yell industrial music when like a Billy Joel record goes in or something. You know, it's like it's it's a lot of like what's what we both pack.
We don't tell each other what we're packing. So we both have these like CD cases that fit like 30 CDs.
Which is funny. Then we go, there's overlap, and it's like, oh, but you kind of pack stuff that is you know gonna work for everybody. Like nothing too. We need to keep the energy up. You know, we need to kind of keep. And then there's stuff where it's like, I need this while I'm driving. Like
Yeah.
there was that time where you were taking us to the haunted Scooby Doo place, and you needed your Poison record.
Oh,
And it
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
we are going to die tonight. And it was like, okay, let's get this on. You know,
But we always have Bowie.
Yeah.
Like Bowie is
Mhm.
always packed. And it's funny, so because we're huge, we're both heavily influenced David Bowie. And again, like Bowie's catalog is huge.
Yeah.
And, and talking about kind of the CD overlap, and again, we don't tell each other. So I'm like, I'm gonna find these like
yeah.
weird Bowie things, and I'm gonna pack them. And so like this one time I packed, I'm like, I'm gonna pack Tin Machine because I haven't listened to Tin Machine for a while. And we get in the car and we're flipping through, and you packed
It was
live
packed a
live Boy Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he packed the Tin Machine live album, and then I
It was just
packed
like,
the Tin Machine.
Like, yeah, how did we? Right.
We've both packed the same Billy Joel CD
Yeah.
at the same time. Like we both had The Stranger in our packs at the same time. We do a lot of like movie soundtracks. Like the soundtracks from the 90s and 2000s were just fucking bangers. Like
Yeah.
God bless that Spawn soundtrack. You know, like it's so much fun to revisit.
The Josie and the Pussycat soundtrack will come with us,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, don't be fooled. We're not like super tough. We
Yeah.
will sing along to Josie and the
Like, there's a lot of Depeche Mode,
Yeah.
Placebo, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, and then we'll get into. I mean, we also go on a lot of tangent side quests where the music gets turned down. We're talking about old episodes of MacGyver.
Yeah.
And then it's led to us being on a podcast about MacGyver, you know. So that's a whole nother thing. We just
You got to keep it fun and keep it interesting, you know.
so
Yeah.
there's a lot of the, you know, and then you know how you get a couple days into tour, you can get kind of loopy.
Yeah.
So then that happens. Or I'm driving and I have Karen text me these lyrics that I'm coming up with, you know, whatever that is. But yeah, just a lot of what. But yeah, sometimes we do listen to podcasts, and then if I'm in the back working, then I have headphones on. So you and Dave are doing. God
only knows what we're doing. Yeah.
But it sounds like you guys have a lot of fun on tour, and that's awesome. It's, you know.
But we have to. We go crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? If you don't enjoy it, then then don't do it. You know.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
yeah. You have to
Yeah.
once it is. I mean, it's a job, right? But
Yeah.
if you don't enjoy it, if you
Yeah.
don't have fun, then don't go on the road. It's
Yeah.
not for you, and it's not for everybody. But I think for us it is, and it's a
Yeah.
blast.
Because once you get to showtime, like you need to be ready to interact with people and you know, be ready to meet and greet and entertain and whatnot, you know. So it's like get your sleep, get your grumpy out in the vehicle, and then you know whatnot. And but also it's like just not be shitty to each other, you know. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you need to have some space, but not too much space. Like go over there, but not out of sight, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so important because, like, not everyone travels well together. You know, you're in a moving box for however much time, right? In tight quarters. And yeah, it's like it's like either you vibe together or you don't. It isn't it or it isn't, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. Well, my friends, I think we're coming close to kind of that time, but are there any, first of all, what is your preferred way of people interacting with you? Do you prefer like your website directly or certain platforms?
We are on all platforms. We
Hmm.
monitor them pretty regularly. I always say, if there's one website for you to memorize, you could just go to bellheadband.com, go to our website, and then it has links for everything. But we keep our branding throughout. So Facebook, Insta, X, Blue Sky, it's all /Bellhead Band. And then we're on all streaming platforms, so you can get us obviously on Bandcamp, and that's where we can get physical merch too. But we're on all the streaming services, and then our music videos are on YouTube. So
Yeah.
but we respond pretty regularly on whichever platform of your desire.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty great because like I first met you guys at the Madison show at the Crucible, but it's awesome because I feel like you guys are so good at being able to interact and engage with your community. So it's like, like Karen was saying, any platform that you want to like, learn more about Bellhead and get to know them more, by all means do. They are wonderful, amazing humans, awesome artists, and an amazing show. Like it's a really fun, awesome show. So
I mean, the feeling is 100% mutual.
Absolutely.
You guys,
Aw.
we love you guys. We love your music. We love performing with you. Your shows are fantastic. And the same, like what I have a lot of respect for all of you on is like you're the same way that we are, where like the show ends and you are at the merch booth, you are interacting with people, you are talking to people, you're taking the time to do photos and things, and it is so important. And to be a kind human being, it's so important these days. So we love you guys.
Yeah. Oh, likewise. Likewise. It's so awesome. I'm so grateful that we met each other and we've been friends this whole time. So, yeah, I really appreciate that you guys took the time to hang out and chat. I know you guys are probably really, really busy getting ready for your upcoming tour and, all the things. So, thank you for
Of course.
taking the time out of
Thanks
your
for having
schedule.
Yeah,
us.
thanks for letting us hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my dear friends, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. We are going to be resuming Unwritten Rules of the Road on August 2nd. We're going to have Night on, the guys in Night. So that'll be our next episode. But please, if you are in a city that Bellhead is coming through, go to the show, hang out with them, find out if Karen has gotten her tour sword.
Or
I feel like somebody after, like, maybe somebody will actually bring that to a show. Like,
no, don't bring sword. That's you're probably it's probably illegal.
so okay, yes, but yeah, we shall continue the saga of the sword. Yes.
Okay.
Well, many loves, everybody, and thank you for supporting Unwritten Rules of the Road and live music and our wonderful friends. So we will see you next time.